I'm Nick and this is the TBT channel. Welcome to today's video. This is it. This is the big one. This is the showdown. Oh, wow. Now, you've been plagued with me putting videos of these scopes on for a couple of months now. Because I've only got them for a very short period of time, I had to make my videos in a short period of time before they go back. It all started out when I got contacted in May, possibly even April or May, by a company called DNT, Day and Night Technologies. They asked me if I would like to test their Hydra HS225 thermal imaging unit, which is in the center here. I said, oh yes please, and they loaned it to me for a video. I have to give it back, but because of that there's no reason or need for me to just say nice things about it. As long as it's honest, that's absolutely fine. So I got this. My first test was in Whitby. You may have seen it. If not, go back and find it. I was blown away by thermal. I expected it to be blocky, blotchy, blah blah blah. It's actually very, very clear, great definition. But because I tested this one, a few of you in the comments said you should try the Therm Knight or you should try the Zulus, and DNT read those comments and they said, right, we're going to send you some of those as well. So I now have the HS225, the Zulus HD 5-20 LRF and the Thermnight TNC 225R, which is also LRF. So what we have in essence, I'm just going to try and make this concise. This is going to be my opinions of the three, and I'm going to keep one. And we're going to find out which one I'm going to keep, and I'm going to explain to you why. This one here is a thermal only scope. All it does is thermal. You've got different reticles, different colours of thermal light, things like that, and it is absolutely fantastic. It works on a mount as a scope like this, or you can put it ahead of another scope and use it as a clip-on, which is great for if you have an AR style rifle and you've got a small scope on there and you just want something to flick across when you need thermal. Or you can remove it. It's very small, very light, very compact, and it fits in your pocket, and you can use it as a spotter. And because it's so light, you can use it as a spotter, and I have done for extended periods of time, and it won't make your arm ache. The next one up from there, well, no, in cost wise it's completely different, but the next one that I tested was the Zulus, which is a day and night scope, a digital day and night scope with a 5-20 times zoom. I was surprised by this, by the quality of the daytime image, and then when I flicked across into the nighttime mode, I was pretty shocked by the range you get just off of the little torch, infrared torch on the side of here, out to 300 meters plus, no problem at all. But there's electricery inside of this one. It's got a laser rangefinder. You press that, you basically, when you put this on your gun, you zero it in, and then you go into a menu screen inside of here and you tell it what pellet you're using or bullet. Will work on anything. If it fires something, this will work. You tell it what projectile you're using, what diameter, what weight, what length, the height above the bore of the scope, your velocity, things like that. And then when you range find, it'll automatically put your aim point onto the reticle, or you can have it on that's on holdover, which is what I like, where it puts your aim point as a different color on the reticle, although it can move the whole reticle so you always aim dead center if that's what you prefer. But basically I zeroed this air rifle at 40 meters and we're shooting out to 72 meters, and it is, once I got it right, and I've got it more right since I did the video on this because I've been using this a lot, it is absolutely fantastic. You range find, gives you your aim point, bang. You have to allow for the windage still. I'm sure that will come in time, but you have to allow for the windage. So absolutely fantastic unit. Now the prices of these, I will mention, there's a code down below in the description. There's a code. Any viewers of this get £300 off, and the price of this is £799 with that code, which for a thermal unit of this quality is amazing. This one with the code is only £499. Honestly, that's a bargain. I love that scope. So we've got thermal, and then we've got day and night infrared with witchcraft to sort out your aim points for you, which is where we come on to this, the Thermnight over here. Now, this is, as you can probably see from the shape of it, pretty identical to that. It's a 5 to 20 day and night scope with built-in infrared, but it also has thermal. So it has a thermal unit and a day and night unit in one, and it also has the electricery inside of it that this one has, where you program it, in this case to a 243. It was on my, no sorry, to a 2.2, that one, this one's a 243, onto my 2.2 rimfire, so out to 125 meters in the video, or second video I made on this one. It's just given me the aim point once I'd got the programming right, and again after that video I've done some more fine tuning, and now if there's no wind, out to 150 meters I'm dropping the bullets onto the target. Absolutely brilliant. So that has got both of these in one unit, and that is with the code below £999. So which one do I keep? I think the sensible thing to do is to set them up on the bench and record through them, and we'll look at the different quality of each aspect of these guns. And we're going to start off with the thermal through the Thermnight. At the moment we're looking through the Thermnight, the TNC 225R, using thermal, and I can range find, these are my chickens down the garden, I'm range finding 56 metres away. So the quality of the thermal on this is better than I would have expected for thermal in the first place. If I zoom in, which one's the zoom on this? There we go. But as we zoom in, because it's a digital zoom, you do start to lose definition. But zoom in again, 52 metres away currently. You still know it's a chicken, or at least you would do. If you were out expecting to see chickens, you would know it's a chicken. But coming across the day mode, that's really where you get your identification. The thermal on this is good for spotting, but I'm not sure you'd actually, I'm not loaded by the way, obviously I'm pointing gun at me chickens, there's nothing in, there's no magazine bolt or anything in this, it's just a scope mounted. So the definition is better than required for spotting. If I go back down to my tree, if I zoom out there, go over to full, fiddle around with the focus, there we go. So you can easily see hot and cold patches around, and that's what you need. Oh, they've gone, where have they gone? There we are. I can't actually see the chickens. That's the good thing. I can't see the chickens if I flick over. Oh, you can through the scope, but you can't really with the naked eye because they're in long grass. But flicking to thermal, you can immediately see them because they stick out like a sore thumb. That's really the great thing about the thermal on the Thermnight system. You can use it for spotting in heavy cover. Look at that. You wouldn't know there was grass there in that one. You would want to flick over to that one for the shot, I think. Chicken. Oh yeah, she's in a short bit there. But I think you get my point. And there you go, that's the thermal image you get through this. Does everything all in one solution scope. Now we're going to compare that to the dedicated thermal unit, the HS225. And now we've come across to the Thermnight unit. Sorry, not the Thermnight, that was the Thermnight. This is the Hydra. And as you can see, the definition maybe is a little better. I haven't got the reticle on there at the moment because I've been primarily using this as a spotter rather than as a rifle scope. And I think that's really one of the great things about this thermal unit, is it is so small and so compact and light you can just keep it in your pocket, and I have been. And I've been carrying it around with me, and I've been using it in all kinds of situations that you wouldn't normally be mucking around with a thermal unit, but because I've got one, well, I'm gonna, aren't I? So we zoom in a little bit. As you can see, again, we're losing definition. She's gone behind the vines of that, the leaves of that vine there. Oh, she's come out again. If I just, what do we do? Go that way, zoom. It's as big as she gets, and then we're out again. But the definition of this, it does seem crisper. Oh, there's a third chicken there now as well. It does seem crisper, but you only have thermal. But I do think, is that a pigeon? Yeah, pigeons have flown across there. I do think if you're in a hunting situation with an air rifle ranges, and say you're rabbit shooting, well, you're going to be able to tell a rabbit at 40 yards, which is what we want with an air rifle. And again, they're in, I can't flick across to non-thermal because this is a thermal only unit, but they're properly in the long grass now, and I can still see them because of their thermal signature. And I'm just going to flick through the different colours for you. We've got red hot there, iron hot, and white hot. I prefer the black hot. It's kind of like watching a black and white telly, and I don't know about on the screen that you're looking at, but certainly what I'm seeing here is very, very clear. The Thermnight also has those different colours available. And if we come across to the tree at the bottom of the garden, there we go, look, just show you the definition there. Again, when you look at the target in the foreground at 40 metres, the tree's at 62 metres, I do think there's a little more definition than there is with the Thermnight, but they are both good. I think, and you may agree from having seen both of those, that the HS225 does score above the Thermnight on thermal, but then it should. This is £799 of dedicated thermal unit. That's £999 with day, night, infrared, computers, ballistics and thermal unit. This, I think, can be used as a hunting scope thermally alone, just on its own as a thermal scope. If you're doing rat shooting in barns, things like that, just that on its own is enough and probably perfect for what you want. Whereas that, the thermal is a backup, maybe for scanning the fields, maybe for, as we were looking at the chickens down there, when they're in deep cover and you can't actually see them, flick across the thermal, you can see where they are. Then you can flick back into daytime mode or nighttime mode, pick them out, take your shot. So thermal on that, better than that in my opinion. Yours may differ. Please leave a comment if it does. The next thing to check is the day and night use, or the night use we've covered. The nighttime use on this, the infrared, the torches, they're pretty much identical. The range and everything is brilliant. So let's compare the daytimes between these two. So if we're going to compare the Thermnight against the Zulus, it has to be on obviously the day-night use, and I'm going to do it on the day use because when I tested them both, the infrared system and the night vision was absolutely brilliant, faultless. I just I can't believe how good it is. So we're going to take a look through this again at me chickens, just because they happen to be in the right place at the right time. And that's Gina G just gone behind the post there. What have we got there? See, this is where the thermal will be good. That's a bum up in the air, isn't it? That's Indy. And that's Henrietta Clutterbuck, the white one. Which means we're only missing Christy, but I don't know where she is. She'll be adventuring somewhere, I have no doubt. Or hopefully laying an egg, because it's getting on towards time when I leave me dippy egg. So they are at, let me get my laser rangefinder thing going here. Where's my laser box? Laser box is up the top there. So they're 33 metres away. It's given me an aim point for them. That's nice. 33 metres away. Just have a little play with the focus. They're absolutely crystal clear. Clear enough. I mean, I'm not going to shoot them, but if they were a pigeon, absolutely clear enough. Let's go up to 7.5, 15, 17.5, and that's my 20 times zoom. 20 times zoom at 33 metres. They are as clear as a bell. And if we look at the flowers there, you know, you'd have no trouble at all with that tiny little dot in the centre of the reticle, just picking off the smallest targets. But if we go down to 62 metres at my cherry tree, look at that, you can see the shine, you can see everything. There has been doubt cast upon day scopes, digital scopes, for use during the day, and I do get, obviously it's not as good as crystal clear expensive glass, but if you want one scope to go on a hunting rifle and use for everything, that's where digital comes in. So that's down at 300 and something metres. Let's just, there we are, get the chain link fencing in clear perspective. And what's that? Is that a bird? Just, yeah, there's a bird there. The other side of that, so that's 350 metres away. It's probably a hoopoe, given where it is. And we zoom out. The further you zoom out, the better the picture gets. I mean, that is, again, I'm not sure exactly what you're seeing through your screen there, but looking through the viewfinder here, it's exceptional. And the range, the zeroing thing, that's at 300 and odd metres. That's at 62. That's at 40. And it's only when you get closer that you'd be parallaxing like crazy with a standard glass scope anyway. So that is brilliant. Let's have a look through the same thing with the Thermnight. So that was the Zulus, the £499 day and night scope with all the electricity to make you hit your target. I may have mentioned I really like this scope. So now we'll have a look through the Thermnight at the daytime scope through that as well. Same chickens, same range. There goes Henrietta, look. And again, you can see it's perfectly clear. I'm not sure, because we've got exactly the same conditions here. It's been seconds between the two. But I'm not sure if the picture's not slightly better on the Zulus. Let's focus in, zoom in rather, on the flowers there. Oh no, it's good. It is good. So I'm putting I'm focusing the wrong bit, that's what it is, because I've got different lenses to focus on this one. I'll put my hand in front of the lens and focus in the wrong parts. Let's come across to 62 metres, the tree. There we are, look. Crystal clear. It's got the same, well, it's not a dot at that one, there are different reticles. I'm not saying it isn't a dot on some of them, but that one starts as a cross, then as you zoom in it turns into that dot, and I'm loving that dot. I'm going to be using these for as long as I can use these scopes before they go back. I will be using them all, but they're not all going back. I will be keeping one. Well, that's kind of the point of this video, isn't it? Which one am I going to keep? I think I know. There we are, look, 300 metres, focused in, there's your chain link fencing. People say, as I've said before, you can't use these. Now, hang on a second. Which button do I need to press? Change the colour, there we are. It was on a white background so you couldn't see the reticle, so I've pressed the settings button quickly. It's taken it to a black reticle. I've got a choice of colours. Let's range find that. Where's my rangefinder on this? Down there. Range find that. 578 metres. So that's a house 570 metres away. Zoom right in. Have a little play with the focus. There's a pigeon flew up in between there. We've got a bit of heat haze. You would have the same heat haze looking through a glass scope. that's a precision dot. I'm loving that, and I think the picture is perfectly adequate for hunting. As I said, if you're looking for a day and a nighttime scope, one scope to put on your rifle, zero it and leave it, and it'll do everything, then these are the ones you should be looking at. And that's it, the daytime through the Thermnight. I'm not sure if it's just me, my eyes, maybe something in the settings, but the colours seemed a little more vivid in this one. I expect it's something in the settings. I expect they've got the same sensor inside. So there we have it. We have £499 for a day and night scope that'll put the bullet where you want it. We have £799 for a dedicated thermal unit that can be used as a spotter, a clip-on, or as a thermal scope. Or for £999, we've got both of these in one unit. All those prices with the discount thing below, they're much more expensive if you don't use the code. So, which do I buy? Which would you buy? Tell me below which you would buy. Do that, pause it now and tell me, and see if we get the same result. Have you done it? Give you a couple more seconds. I'm buying this one, the Zulus. I love this scope. It's small, it's light, it's compact, and it does everything I need it to do. The Thermnight is equally as good at everything, and it's got the thermal included. But I'll tell you why I'm not going to go for the Thermnight. For me, the thermal is awesome, but it's as a handheld spotter. Scanning fields, scanning trees with the gun on your back, having to scan with it in your shoulder, with my shoulder, is difficult. For you, it may well be different. If you're a dedicated hunter, ambushing, whatever, that's going to be a fantastic scope. But for me, the ability to hold it as an individual thing, and also take it, because I go bird watching, I go up wildlife watching. Yeah, I can be found in the woods in the middle of the night. I've got trail cams all over the place. I'm into that kind of thing, and this is invaluable. So yeah, I'm buying this one. I don't know when D&T are going to be asking for these back, but I'm hoping that I've managed to save enough to buy that as well. Crazy, because they're more expensive than that unit on its own, but for me, for my personal use, that is just too much of a bargain to give up. And that is just, it's rocked my little world. Honestly, thermal has changed everything for me. Thank you, Albert. There's the neighbour's home. Really, boys? Oh no, it's not, it's the postman. So there we go, that is the conclusion of this. I'm going to be buying the Zulus HD 5-20 LRF, and I hope to be buying the Hydra as well. One addendum to this. I am aware that the version 2 of the Zulus has come out. I know that. I know the price of the version 2. I also know it takes a larger battery, and it has a little lever there instead of the dial. The lever is just something I would break off. A larger battery I don't want, because I've already set up for these batteries now, and this is cheaper. And this does everything I need. So the version 2, I expect I'll be getting it I hope I'll be getting it at some point to test. But for the price difference at the moment, this is a no-brainer. Please like, subscribe, hit notifications. Thank you so much for watching this series of videos. It means a lot to me. Enjoy your shooting. I'll speak to you all soon. Goodbye.